The antique shop smelled like dust and mildew, its corners crowded with forgotten relics. Emily wandered aimlessly, running her fingers over old clocks and tarnished trinkets, until something caught her eye: a mirror. It was tall, its frame ornate with twisting vines carved into dark wood. The glass itself wasn't clear but murky, like smoke trapped beneath the surface. She felt drawn to it, her reflection faint and distorted in the dim light. "I see you found the whispering mirror," the shopkeeper said, his voice gravelly. Emily blinked. What?" The man gave a tight smile. "Just an old name. It's yours for $20, if you want it." Something about the mirror tugged at her. Before she could think twice, she bought it. Back at her apartment, Emily set the mirror in her bedroom. The glass seemed to ripple faintly as she stepped back, but she shook it off. "Just my imagination," she muttered. That night, the whispers started. At first, it was faint, like wind slipping through a crack. Emily stirred in her sleep, the sound tickling her subconscious. Then it grew louder. Emily, her eyes snapped open. The room was still, the mirror standing across from her bed. She squinted, her breath hitching. For a moment, she thought she saw movement in the glass, a shadow, fleeting but unmistakable. "Hello?" she whispered, sitting up. The mirror didn't respond, but the whispering continued, soft and insistent. She told herself it was nothing. She went back to sleep. By the next morning, Emily convinced herself it was just a bad dream. She went about her day, but every time she passed the mirror, she felt it watching her. That night, it got worse. The whispers grew clearer, forming words. "Help me." Emily froze, her eyes locked on the mirror. The shadow was back, but it wasn't fleeting this time. It lingered, shifting unnaturally within the glass. "Who's there?" she asked, her voice trembling. The glass rippled again, and a hand, a pale, skeletal hand, pressed against the inside of the mirror. Emily screamed, stumbling back. The hand vanished, leaving only her wide-eyed reflection. But now, her reflection didn't move with her. It stared, smiling faintly, even as Emily backed away. Days passed, and the whispers didn't stop. They followed her through her apartment, growing louder at night. She stopped sleeping, her eyes red and sunken. The reflection had changed, too. It no longer mimicked her movements. It watched her. Sometimes it mouthed words she couldn't hear. One night, the whispers turned into a low, guttural voice. "Let me in, Emily." She grabbed a blanket and threw it over the mirror, her heart pounding. The whispers turned to laughter, muffled but relentless. "I won't," she whispered back, clutching her knees to her chest. "I won't." The laughter stopped abruptly, replaced by a deafening silence. Then, the blanket fell to the floor on its own. Emily woke to find herself standing in front of the mirror. She didn't remember getting up. Her hand was pressed against the glass, which felt warm, almost alive. The reflection grinned, a wide, unnatural smile that split its face. "Switch," it whispered. Before she could react, the glass pulled her in. She screamed, her body sinking into the mirror like quicksand. Her reflection stepped out, stretching its limbs as if testing a new body. Emily pounded on the other side of the glass, her voice lost in the void. The reflection turned, meeting her panicked gaze. "Thanks for the trade," it said, and walked away. The mirror now stands in a new antique shop, its surface calm and unassuming. But if you look closely, you might see a faint shadow, a face, screaming silently, begging to be let out.